Liam still had some things to do, so I came back early to prepare for the wedding. Although I have been married once, I still had expectations for the wedding dress. I went to the largest wedding dress shop in Shenzhen, picked a few things I liked, and sent Liam a photo. He called me the next second. I smiled and connected. Which one do you think is good? Liam said honestly, I don't know. I pretended to be angry. Didn't you look at the photos I sent you at all? How could it be? I looked at every one of them carefully. My wife's aesthetics are really good. It's just that our wife is so beautiful, and any wedding dress is a perfect match. How can I choose it? I blushed a little when I was told, and said angrily, We haven't gotten the certificate yet. Who is your wife? He chuckled. I knew that my wife was also in a hurry to get the certificate, and I also wanted to be married home by you immediately and be your little husband. Liam's love words are one said after another. I blushed and said angrily, Slippery, I won't tell you. I'm going to dinner. Okay, wife, eat well. I walked out of the bridal shop and ran into an acquaintance around the corner. Only then did I remember that the smile was his. I was hesitating what to use as an opening remark when he suddenly rushed up, grabbed my hand and trembled incessantly. I sighed and squeezed out a polite and distant smile. Mason, long time no see. This is my ex-husband. I don't hate him. After all, the Kui family has a favor for supporting me. As the daughter of an extremely patriarchal family in the mountains, I didn't have the opportunity to study. It was the Kui family's charitable foundation that funded all my tuition and living expenses. After graduation, I was admitted to a special education school as a teacher. A year later, Mason, the only son of the Kui family, had a car accident and broke his legs. And the news that he might not be able to stand up in his life was in the news. Once the pride of heaven fell to the bottom, he became uncertain, irritable, closed his heart, refused everyone's entry, and was unwilling to even rehabilitate. Perhaps I can help. With the gratitude of his parents, I resigned and became Mason's caregiver. At first, he didn't have a good face for me and completely treated me like air. I was least afraid of sticking my hot face to my cold buttocks, so I massaged him day after day and asked him if he would like to rehabilitate today. Mason's attitude changed from scolding to silent refusal, and then, too, he looked at me, revealing a vulnerability that had never been shown in front of others. What if you can't stand up after hard work? Am I only in a wheelchair in my life and become a useless person in everyone's mouth? I just looked at him. I believe you will stand up. He laughed at himself. My parents don't believe it. Indeed, they are considering having another child. Perhaps this is the reason why he is irritable. In the most difficult time, what parents think of is actually to give up. After this day, Mason took the initiative to undergo rehabilitation for the first time. The process was painful, but I was with him no matter how difficult it was. 2 years later, he managed to get back on his feet without the help of external forces. Soon after, he regained the ability to walk. That day, he walked alone for a long time, walked up to me, and suddenly asked me, "Do you want to get married?" I was stunned. He saw it. I like him. Love, even if not spoken, can be seen in the eyes and body language. 3 after marriage, the way we got along didn't change, and we still respected each other. We are more like friends under the same roof than husband and wife. The turning point of the matter was that Mason came back from a socializing. He was drunk, and when I helped him, he didn't pay attention and was thrown on the bed by him. Then, there's the bloody drunkenness. When he woke up, I was getting ready to take my medicine. He took the medicine from behind and said lightly, "Taking medicine hurts the body. If you are pregnant, give birth." We all know what this phrase means. After that, we became a real couple. When I come back late, he will send me a message in advance. On my birthday, he will prepare a surprise for me. We also made up for our honeymoon trip. And under Mount Fuji, we did it soberly, and he gently wiped my body after the end. At that moment, I really thought that he also had a little liking for me. When I was at my happiest, Hila appeared. For the first time I saw her, I wanted to have lunch with Mason and go to the company to find him. A strange face brought me a cup of coffee. When she walked up to me, she didn't know if it was intentional or unintentional. Her hands shook, and coffee was spilled on me. I wore a white dress that day, and it was all ruined. Rao is a little angry at the moment, no matter how good my temper is, and I can't help but reprimand a few words. She had been silent before, until Mason came back from the meeting and she said a grieved lie. "I'm sorry, madam. I didn't mean to." The words were said to me, but it was Mason who looked at them. Mason frowned. "It's okay. You can go. Pay attention next time." He has always been strict with his employees, and he is an iron-faced and ruthless workaholic who is discussed in private. Meeting my doubtful eyes, Mason said, "She is new and wants to give newcomers a chance to grow. Is it really just because of this?" The seeds of a sense of crisis quietly landed in my heart. The bud was after I saw Mason's mobile phone album. Mason doesn't like to take pictures, and we don't even have a few group photos, but on her phone, I saw several photos of Hila sleeping on her desk, and a video of them dancing under the moon. Hila couldn't dance. Her movements were clumsy, and she frequently stepped on his feet. Mason just looked at her with a smile and guided softly. He was extremely gentle in the camera and caught me off guard and cried. He has never looked at me like this, smiled like this, without waiting for my showdown. Mason told me that he had found true love. True love. I was distracted for a moment. Why? Mason seemed to think of something, and couldn't help but smile gently at the corner of her mouth. "She is different from you. She is very lively, cute, and full of life force will make me very relaxed by her side. Yuli, we are more like relatives, and only in her can I feel the passion. This is really hurtful. Fortunately, I have cried countless times in private, so I was able to sign the divorce agreement in front of him as if nothing had happened. I got a wealth that others couldn't share in 8 lifetimes, that's enough." During the cooling-off period of divorce, Mason moved in with Hila. In the video sent by Hila, he will cook for her Okathislai, talk love words, take off his cold mask, and kiss her emotionally. It's so strange, Mason. A month passed quickly. We successfully received the divorce certificate. Perhaps about to part ways, Mason asked me with complicated eyes. "What are your plans for the future?" I tilted my head in thought for a while and said, "Go back to school to teach." He breathed a sigh of relief. I waved my hand at him and pretended to turn around and leave. In fact, I didn't go back to school. Half a month ago, I had already planned to volunteer teaching. Where to come from? Where to go back? I took root in that poor and backward mountainous area and stayed for 5 years. In the past 5 years, I've changed my mobile phone number to block messages from outside the mountains as much as possible. 5, I didn't expect to meet Mason just after coming back. The world is really too small. I smiled and said, "You and Dila should be married, right? I'm sorry I was too busy to attend your wedding. Of course, this is polite. What is it for one of my ex-wives to go to someone else's wedding?" Mason seemed to be greatly stimulated, and the hand that grabbed me became harder and harder. "I didn't marry her. I've been looking for you." 6, I was a little surprised and uncomfortable, and tried to pull out my hand. The hand was not pulled out. I was a little annoyed and looked at him expressionlessly. "What are you looking for me for?" Mason breathed rapidly, slowly let go of his hand, and smiled cautiously on his face. "I'm so excited, it's hurting you, right?" I shook my wrist. "It's okay." Inexplicably, he seemed to care about my expression and stared at my face intently. "I'm sorry for what happened back then, but I later realized how much it hurt you. When I wanted to go to you, I found out that you had sold the house where we lived for 2 years. I lost your news, and I can't find you no matter how hard I look for you. It's okay. The damage has already been done, and it cannot be made up for with a light apology. It's just that the culprit who caused the harm is no longer important. Mason's eyes lit up. Let's remarry. Let me compensate you well. I was stunned by his sudden sentence. Are you crazy? Where is Ela? He showed a gentle look that I had only seen in the video sent by Ela. We have been separated a long time ago, Yuli. What I like is you. I was Chinavi back then, and I couldn't tell whether I was grateful or liking you. I didn't know what expression to show anymore. I just felt that the person in front of me had been taken away. Forget about remarriage. I already have a boyfriend, and we plan to get married in a month. Mason's face turned white. What about him? I haven't come back yet, he said urgently. I don't believe it. You deliberately fabricated a man to come out and lie to me. Right. At this moment, I even wanted to take out my mobile phone and call Liam and ask him to prove it in person. On second thought, is it necessary? Even if I don't have a boyfriend and I'm not ready to remarry, what does it have to do with him? Believe it or not, I'm not interested in remarriage, and I'm not interested in you. I'm very hungry now. Can you get out of the way? Mason thought I was acquiescing to his words and smiled. Yuli, the future is long. I will not give up. 7. The reason why Mason was sure that I would not leave Shenzhen for the time being was that Mason's mother's 60th birthday would be in a few days. Even when I hated Mason the most, I still only had gratitude and admiration for my aunt. I came to the door with gifts. The Kui family's old house was staggered, and as soon as my aunt saw me, she greeted me sit down next to her. She had kind eyebrows and kind eyes, and smiled like a Bodhisattva. Shaoli, where have you been in the past 5 years? Although Auntie is not blessed to continue to be your mother, Auntie still treats you as half a daughter. Why don't you come to see Auntie? My heart warmed up and I told her about going to the mountains to teach. Auntie showed concern. You have worked hard for you in the past 5 years. It's all your fault for that stinky boy. If you told me at the time, Auntie would definitely do justice for you. When I got divorced, Mason asked me to hide it from my family first. Otherwise they would definitely prevent him from being with Ela. I said calmly, it's okay. It's all over. She touched my hand and told me what happened after I left. Half a month after our divorce, Mason went back to his old house for dinner, and his aunt asked why he didn't take me with him. Only then did Mason confess our divorce and his relationship with Ela. Uncles and aunts were very angry at first, but in the end, it was their own sons, and they slowly accepted it. The only condition was that they apologized to me. When Mason went, he found out that I had left long ago, and the house I had lived in for several years had also been sold. He refused to believe it at first, contacted me for several days, and went to the school where I used to work to find me, but I was like evaporating from the world. The aunt said with lingering fears that kid suddenly went crazy. He didn't even want the true-love, he kept saying, and he had to go to the police. But he couldn't produce evidence to prove that he was related to you. He wanted to use the power of the family to investigate, but I suppressed him. Xiao Li is a very assertive girl, and you must have a reason to leave. I was stunned. I see. I said that with the power of the Kui family. If Mason really wanted to know, how could he not know anything about my location? I said sincerely, Auntie. Thank you. Auntie smiled bitterly. As a mother, you have to wipe your child's buttocks. After the car accident, we felt guilty, obedient to him, and spoiled him. Let him become a child who doesn't grow up, and can't tell the truth from falsehood. Xiao Li, Auntie knows that she wronged you before, but he really knows that she was wrong. Can you forgive my aunt for her sake? Auntie can see that he has been waiting for you. The biological son is the biological son after all. I have regrets in my heart but not sadness, and I'm afraid I won't be able to contact my aunt more in the future. I shook my head. I'm sorry. Auntie, I already have a boyfriend and am engaged. I will send you an invitation when I have a wedding. That's right. The aunt sighed. It's that stinky boy who is not blessed, and Auntie doesn't mess around with the Mandarin duck score. She looked behind me. Did you hear that? You will bear the consequences of the sins you have created yourself. I turned around and realized that Mason didn't know when he would stand behind me. We looked at each other in silence. After the banquet, Mason took the initiative to send me home. I unceremoniously refused. No, I'm taking a taxi. Mason's eyelids trembled, and he said in a muffled voice, Lee, you don't have to make up a boyfriend with my mother to push me away. I won't give up. I said impatiently. Mason, you don't have that much magic. You are just a stranger to me. As I spoke, the car I called just arrived. I didn't even say hello and walked straight into the night. 9 in the evening. I came out of the shower and Liam called me. There was a hint of fatigue in his tone. Wife, how is your day? I listened to his voice, and a faint melancholy crossed my heart. It's okay. I just miss you a little. It was quiet over there for a while. Liam's voice was very soft, as if he was afraid of disturbing me. This is the first time you have said that you miss me? Can you say it again? I laughed. Inch by inch. He acted coquettously. Tell me. I looked at the moonlight outside the window and said seriously, I miss you very much, Liam. Liam murmured, Wife, I love you. I think this moment is very strange. There is an indescribable melancholy. It's just that if he wants to tell me, he will definitely say it. If he doesn't say it, I won't ask. No matter how close you are, you need some privacy. The first time I met Liam, he was still a young master who had just been thrown into his grandmother's hometown in the mountains to transform. One of my female students was delivering food to him, and she accidentally fell on the way, and I happened to meet her. I asked her to go home distressed, and I came to help her deliver it. I brought the dishes and unput them on the table, and as soon as I went out, the lunchbox with vegetables was thrown out. The ground is green and mixed with soil. In front of my eyes, I instantly saw the little girl falling down and protecting the bento, and my anger immediately surged up. I rushed in. Liam was about to lie back on the bed and said suspiciously, Who are you? I straightened my face. It doesn't matter who I am, but your waste of food is a serious mistake. Are you crazy? If I'm crazy, you're a complete waste. With hands and feet lying on the bed for people to serve and wasting food. Are you a 3-year-old child? Liam's fair face was reddened purple, and he said stiffly, I gave you money. You can eat if you want, and if you don't want to eat, don't eat it. It's none of your business. The little girl who brought you food fell down, and her knees were bleeding and she was afraid of scattering the food. So she was thinking about delivering food to her brother. How much money did you give in exchange for your broken conscience? Liam stayed for a few seconds. She fell. I don't know. After he settled for a few seconds, he obediently went out to clean up the mess. After this time, he inexplicably began to stick to me. After we were together, I asked him why, and he looked intoxicated. Hey, I think my wife's scolding posture is too imposing. I like it so much. After the appraisal, this person is shaking him. There is no doubt that the 5-year volunteer teaching life in the mountains is a lot more interesting because of Liam, who has a head full of strange ideas. 11. The doorbell rang. As soon as the call ended, my first reaction was the surprise prepared by Liam as soon as the door was opened. A smell of alcohol came to the nose. Mason leaned drunkenly at the door and smiled at me. Wife, why don't you go home? I've been waiting for you. I picked up the anti-wolf electric bit placed at the entrance door and said lightly, You remember wrong, we have been divorced for 5 years. Don't get divorced. Don't talk about divorce. He suddenly became excited and grabbed at hold my hand. Push open the door and get in. I stabbed him mercilessly. Are you crazy? Strong current passing through. Mason snorted and fell straight down, just pressing on me. Even though he was in a semi-coma, he still hugged my waist like a dog-skin plaster that couldn't be shaken off. My face is like ashes. Bored. It's the first time I've annoyed someone like this. Mason lay on me in a daze. Wife, I really miss you. I regret my original decision every moment in the past 5 years. Give me a chance to love you as you love me, okay? I thought I could face him with a calm heart, but his words still easily stung me. A touch of sadness spreads in my heart for my former self during Mason's long and hopeless years of recovery. When his parents were ready to give up, I was able to persevere by relying on the love that did not dare to see the light. In the 3rd year of junior high school, his uncle and aunt took him to the school to select people who were deeply sponsored. Due to too much housework taking up study time, my grades were not the most outstanding, and I was stupid, wearing tattered clothes, and timidly hiding in the crowd. I didn't have high expectations for continuing my studies. My parents won't agree. They don't want me to continue studying, and they want me to work in the factory early for my brother to study in the town. Mason stood among his uncles and aunts, wearing the most beautiful clothes, like a little prince, and his eyes fell on me carelessly. Then my name was written. The aunt asked him why. He shrugged. Her clothes are the most tattered. Aren't we looking for the person who needs the most support? She fits the bill. I was afraid that the quota would be wasted. So I had the courage to find Mason and said that my parents would not agree. They could change to another person. Mason looked at me suspiciously. Why don't you resist? Revolt. I never thought of resisting. After all, my parents gave birth to me, and it's normal for me to repay them. Mason listened to my words, and his face was full of absurdity. You are from the King dynasty, is it? It is your parents' choice to give birth to you. As for raising you, you are pale and thin. They don't send you to high school. Are you raising them well? I was speechless. He looked at me steadily. The opportunity is given to you. If even you give up on yourself, then no one can help you. Let me ask you again. Are you going to give up? At this moment, I can't say the words to give up. He is a light that shines on my entire youth, and it is a luxury that I dare not express in my mouth. Therefore, even if it is a loveless marriage, I am willing to do it. It's just that if there is no love all the time, I will not be immersed in it, and I will not be able to extricate myself. He gave me hope. When I was at my happiest, I broke it. When I saw the videos and photos of Eli on his phone, the fear of separation haunted me. I haven't slept in a long time. He came back every day and didn't notice. We are the most familiar strangers in the same bed and dreams. It turned out that he knew how much I loved him back then. So he still chose to bring Ela to me and tell me, I have found true love. I didn't tell anyone that it was dark at that moment. I have to find something to do. Otherwise, the pain will be like a daughter, wringing out all my spiritual nutrients. I'm going to die. Fortunately, I survived. Mason lost his voice as he spoke. I dragged him to the couch and found his phone. I contacted his driver and asked him to come up and pick me up. When the driver took him away, he kept saying my name in his mouth. I was indifferent. Help tell your boss next time. I will call the police. 12 the next morning. The doorbell rang again. I thought Mason hadn't given up, so he opened the door angrily. Are you? Liam spread his arms towards me and smiled sunny. Wife, surprise. Jay, there is a large box behind him. I opened it and saw that it was the wedding dress I had sent him. Don't you like it? I want to give you everything you like. The choice is too painful. I am reluctant to let you suffer. Liam sat on the sofa and looked at me with a smile. If you want anything else, we can find someone to design it. But it's too rushed. I'm afraid I won't be able to make it in time for our wedding. It's all my fault, as soon as you agree to my proposal. I can't wait to marry you. Why don't we get married in a month, prepare well, and get married again? I don't lack money to buy a few wedding dresses, but this intention still touches me. I ignored his nonsense. The format of the wedding is not important. The most important thing is that the two people really like it. My last wedding was the wedding of the century, and the diamond rings were also designed by the world's top designers. However, Mason had never worn it, and Liam and his ring finger were still wearing a ring made of weeds. I was concentrating on opening the gift, but I didn't notice that Liam's hand on the sofa touched something. He raised it in front of his eyes and squinted at it. Iman's ring. 13. The phone on the coffee table rang. I didn't look up. Liam, help me pick it up and see who it is. Liam silently picked up the phone, with a string of unsigned, unfamiliar numbers jumping on it. He connected and handed it to my ear. Lee, my ring fell at your house. I know this voice. Turned to ashes. I frowned. What ring? Our wedding ring. I took a deep breath. If you lose it, you will lose it anyway. We are all divorced. Is it important to find it? It's very important. I couldn't hold back and rolled my eyes. At this time, Liam stretched out his hand to me, and as soon as he opened it, there was a ring lying in the palm of his hand. He asked, "Is that it?" I glanced at him in surprise and said to Mason, "I found it. Send it to your company when the time comes. Don't bother me." Liam didn't give it to me, and played with the ring. "Is it a pair with the one you donated?" I pursed my lips. In the second year of volunteer teaching, I felt that I could let go. I was thinking about what to do with the ring by the ditch. 14. Liam suddenly rushed out from his side, startling me. My hand shook and the ring fell into the ditch. I was still thinking, maybe this is fate. However, Liam exclaimed, jumped into the ditch without hesitation, and fished up the ring. When he came out, his body was still stained with black mud, and he held the ring tightly in his hand and carefully held it in front of me. He smiled stupidly. Fortunately, I found it. Liam has a cleanliness habit and doesn't like to sit with others to eat, so he immediately changes out a little dirt on his clothes. Another time he accidentally stepped on a lump of cow dung on the road and fainted directly. At this moment, he completely ignored the traces on his white shirt and stared at me with a layer of light in his eyes. Afterwards, he pretended to be casual and asked, "You were in a hurry when the ring fell, weren't you?" In a hurry? No. I was relieved. So, I donated the ring and the proceeds from the auction. When to support the poor, the breakfast plan for Mountain Village students can be regarded as giving full play to its final value. I realized that I should explain to Liam why my ex-husband's ring appeared on the sofa at my house. 15. Liam is a big vinegar king, and he has to get to the bottom of the matter when I say a few more words to the male teacher in private. Not to mention that the opposite side is still my ex-husband. I probably said what happened last night, omitting some plots that could cause misunderstandings. He said, didn't seem to care much, and his expression was faint. I breathed a sigh of relief. The next second he suddenly said, "Why don't you ask my ex-husband to come to the door in person to get the key, and I will thank him for taking care of you these days." Wow, the smell of vinegar all over the house. I was about to say that this is not necessary, right? After thinking about it again, it just made Mason give up. Don't harass me. I really don't want to make trouble at the police station. I agreed, okay. The next day, Liam got up early in the morning and started cooking himself, giving full play to all the skills he had learned in the past 5 years. Then, he went downstairs to do his hair, rummaged through the cabinets, took out a suit, sprayed it with my favorite perfume, I said, and sat on the sofa in high spirits, ready to go. I'm numb. At 12 o'clock at noon. Mason arrived on time. I'll come. Liam rushed to open the door. Mason held a large bouquet of roses, and the smile on his face froze at the moment the door opened. He slowly restrained his smile and squinted his eyes as if remembering. That kid from the Liam family. Why are you here? Liam raised his lips and smiled. Uncle Mason, I am my sister's fiancé. Where am I not at my sister's house? An uncle, a sister, the generations immediately diverged. Mason's face instantly turned bloodless, and he looked at me behind him in disbelief. I seemed to hear the sound of something collapsing. This was obviously a malicious hangman banquet. And I thought Mason would leave. He didn't. He walked in as if nothing had happened and sat down in the seat arranged for him. I sat on the side with Liam, and he sat alone opposite. The atmosphere is strange and inexplicably harmonious. Liam helped me pick up the vegetables, and when he saw me eating, he smiled happily and looked up at the opposite side. "Uncle, you're welcome. I made these things." My sister ate them cutely. There was no expression on Mason's face, and he pinched a shrimp in front of him. He was not skilled in peeling shrimp, but his expression was serious, as if he was engaged in some difficult career. Then he put the peeled shrimp on the plate in front of me, and the provocative meaning was self-evident. However, I frowned. "Sorry, I'm allergic to shrimp." Liam chuckled. "I heard that my uncle likes to eat shrimp, so I specially made a boiled shrimp, and the rest is all my sister's favorite food." But I didn't expect my uncle to even know that my sister is allergic to shrimp. So many dishes, I chose this dish. Mason was stunned and muttered, "I don't know." Liam muttered in a voice that everyone present could hear, "I have known my sister for so long, and I have been married for 2 years, and I don't even know what my sister likes to eat or what she is allergic to," which is really unqualified. It's normal for Mason not to know. Most of the dishes I ate when I was a child didn't have much oil and water, and it was not my turn to get a little meaty. As a result, I compensated for it with revenge. Heavy oil, heavy spices and salt, and I couldn't stop it. Mason is the exact opposite of me. He has a very light taste, especially Western food. After we met, I accommodated him with whatever we ate. I didn't feel anything. Even after 2 years of marriage, he never paid attention to what I like to eat. Even if he hasn't known Neela for a long time, he is willing to wash her hands and make soup. I don't feel wronged in the past, that's what I'm willing to do, and I can't blame others. Liam raised a smile at me. "It's okay, sister. I know what you like to eat and what you don't like to eat. When we get married, I will make it for you every day." He turned to Mason and said, "Uncle, the only thing you can eat on the table is shrimp, right? After all, you are old and may have difficulty digesting greasy things, but it's not enough to pay attention to the health in the body. The age goes up. The corners of the eyes, there are also many wrinkles, and men can't patronize one end. They have to take care of both ends before someone likes it." In Liam's deliberate targeting, Mason's face darkened at a speed visible to the naked eye. Towards the end of this strange dinner, Liam took out the ring. "By the way, Uncle, your ring fell at my fiance's house, and now I will return it to you." He handed it over. Mason did not answer. They looked at each other and confronted each other silently. Liam chuckled, let go of his hand. The ring fell on the table, and he said slowly, "Uncle, this kind of trick of deliberately creating opportunities to meet by dropping things in a girl's house is rarely used by boys over 25 years old, not to mention that my uncle is almost 25 years older." The corners of Mason's mouth, which suddenly became a teenager, twitched uncontrollably. Liam continued, "My sister donated that ring before, and what she was waiting to wear was the ring I gave her. Do you understand? Uncle, it doesn't matter if you don't have anyone, and you can trust to seduce other people's fiancés. It's immoral." Mason was angry and left. I suspect that if he walks a few minutes later, he will faint directly. I looked at Liam differently. "I didn't expect your mouth to be quite poisonous." Liam's mouth was deflated. "You talk nonsense. My mouth is obviously sweet. Otherwise, sister will come and taste it." He leaned his fair and handsome face over. "Liam's skin is particularly white, and her lips are bright red. I can't help but stick it." Liam sat back with a red face, and suddenly asked me seriously, "Have you tasted it? Do you think his sweetness or mine?" The question is no less than who to save from falling into the water. I thought about it seriously and shook my head. Liam's grievances were beyond words. "Are you still thinking about him in your heart?" "Of course not. I just don't want to compare you to others. You are you, the most unique you, not something that can be compared." He blushed, but didn't want to be too proud. and said honestly, "Look around and talk about him." In the evening, when Liam went to take a shower, my phone rang. 17, it was the aunt who called. But it was Mason who spoke after connecting you, Lee. "Don't hang up yet. I have something I want to tell you about Liam." I stopped the hang-up. Mason said slowly, "Did Liam tell you why he, the second young master of the zoo family, would go to a place where birds don't poop and stay for 5 years?" I was impatient. "What the hell are you trying to say?" he said lonely. "You are getting less and less patient with me. I want to tell you that he likes his sister-in-law and wants to steal the marriage on their wedding day. The zoo family didn't want to make a big deal out of it, so they tied him up over there." My hands were numb. "I don't believe you." "Mason sent me 2 photos taken the day before yesterday, and Liam told me that he hadn't come back yet. A coffee shop with a good environment." And outside the window is the iconic building of Shenzhen. Liam excitedly grabbed a woman's hand as if asking something. The woman opposite was very beautiful. Her willow eyebrows furrowed slightly, and there was a hint of disapproval in her expression. Moreover, she is somewhat similar to me. It's just that the innate nobility and elegance in her, or something I can't learn after imitating them impeccably for a few years. My eyes fell on a star-shaped necklace around the woman's neck, which was funny. And Liam also had one on her body. Never leave your body. Once, I visited the home of a junior high school girl who was forced to drop out of school by her family, and her father was excited to beat me, and he was still talking trash talk in his mouth. Liam went to stop him, and the necklace around his neck was torn off. He immediately sat on that person like crazy and beat him wildly. I was scared, went to pull him, and was pushed down by him. It wasn't until he snatched the necklace back and put it back on his neck that his sanity regained and helped me up to apologize. I asked about the origin of the necklace. After hesitating for a few seconds, he said that it was a relic left by his grandmother. It turned out that he was lying to me. I sighed. Fortunately, I have passed the age of dying or living for Raoxi's eyes love. About 10 minutes later, he came out in a bathrobe, and he threw one at me, 18 charming eyes. "Wife, in the dead of night, it is a good time to connect with your relationship." I looked at him straight without any waves on my face. He noticed the strangeness of the atmosphere and said with concern, "You look very unhappy. What's wrong? Did my ex-husband come to harass you again while I was taking a shower?" I pulled out the photo, flipped through my phone, put it in front of him, and said calmly, "Liam, can you tell me what this is?" I thought about his reactions in many ways. Argued, saying that he came back early and wanted to see his family first. That person was his sister-in-law, and this reason made some sense. It is okay to deny directly and say that the photo is a picture, or simply admit it, break the jar and ask what I want to do. I didn't expect him to be silent at all. Liam is eloquent, and he can argue 3 points without reason, but he rarely can say a word. It can be seen that the weight of that person in his mind. What an honor I am to be a stand-in for others. I closed my eyes and opened them again. "You go first. Let's calm down." Liam lowered his head and turned back to the bathroom. After he left, I sat alone on the sofa for a long time, and 5 years passed by my eyes. Finally, returned to nothingness. I got up and packed the wedding dress and sent it to Liam. Things returned to their original owners. 19, I slept at home for 2 days. Plants need the sun, and people need a breath of fresh air occasionally. On the 3rd day of my breakup, I finally decided to go out and relax. Shopping can make people feel good. I came back with a big bag and a small bag, and saw the girl at the door who had only seen it in the photo. She was covered in famous brands, and she also had a sense of arrogance that was pickled in wealth. "Hi, Amila, you should know me, right? The visitor is not good." "Is there something wrong?" Ela wrinkled his nose. "Liam has been hospitalized with a high fever for 2 days. Are you still in the mood to go shopping?" A trace of emotion flashed through my heart. Just a little. I wondered, why not? We broke up. How does he have anything to do with me? Break up? Ela said incredulously. Just because he likes me. You want to break up with him? Do you have a heart? She took this for granted, as if I was wrong. I had a hard time understanding her brain circuitry. She continued, do you know that Liam went on a hunger strike for a week to get his family to agree to marry you? And his father almost broke his leg. She has done so much for you. And you actually put on a face for him for such a thing? Our childhood sweetheart? Isn't it normal for him to like me? You are a second married cousin of the Kui family. Why do you think you can take my place? If you don't look a little like me, do you think you have the qualifications to get close to him? He is willing to marry you, no matter what the reason. It is your blessing. Wow, I saw the world. Every word of her reveals a sense of superiority as if I had taken advantage of it. I sneered. You people are so funny. Do you think marrying me is a gift? What age are you and your cousin? When New China was founded, you hid in the deep mountains and old forests to practice. He proposed to me with a dead face, and now I dumped him. I'm not interested in the love-hate entanglement within your family. It doesn't matter to me whether he is dead or alive. Can you understand what I say, Miss Giao? Ela blushed angrily. You, sister-in-law. Liam didn't know when he came, wearing a hospital gown, standing in the corner against the wall, his face whiter than the wall. Don't disturb him. Ela's face turned from red to white. You call me sister-in-law? Liam pulled out an indifferent smile. You are my eldest brother's wife. I don't call you sister-in-law. What should I call you, Liam? You bastard. Ela's tears welled up in his eyes, and he no longer had the high-ranking look just now. Pushing him away and running away. Liam had no intention of chasing, and didn't even move his eyes. He leaned against the wall and walked up to me step by step. Sister, I didn't know she would come to you. My tone was unwavering. I won't take it as an example. I walked past him and entered the door, and he suddenly grabbed the corner of my clothes and choked up. Don't you want me anymore? I approached you at the beginning because you looked like her, but later, it was you who attracted me. You were brave, kind, gentle, and powerful. You are you. You don't look like anyone. I was just too scared that day. I didn't know what to say. I was afraid that you would be angry. I was afraid that you would not want me. Sister, I really like you. I lowered my head to unlock the lock. Thank you for liking, but forget it. Liam, I'm not young anymore, and I don't have the energy to mix in such complex feelings. Liam's hand was lowered. I'm sorry. Second week after the breakup, I decided to travel around the globe. 20 after the freedom of wealth, I never played well. I originally planned a honeymoon after marriage to put a trip around the world on the agenda, but now I can do it alone. I don't know where Mason knew that I was going abroad, and came to the airport to block me. Where are you hiding again? I said. I'm not hiding from anyone. Mason looked at me stubbornly. He has done this to you. Don't you still give up? What's so good about him? Can you look back at me? My eyes fell on his face. I don't want to remarry you or marry him. I don't need to choose between one man and another. Mason looked desperate. How long will it take for you to come back this time? I shook my head. I don't know. It may take half a year, or I may decide to settle in any country. I don't want to answer, because I am free.